Assalamu alaikum dear students. Well, today we are going to explore the poetic features in the given poetic lines. And what we have chosen today for your analysis, it's Lord Byron's She Walks in Beauty, a poem from Romantic age, that uses the iambic tetrameter and an A-B rhyme scheme to create a lyrical flowing rhythm and a harmonious tone. The poem's structure of 3-6 line stanzas, it means 3 stanzas with each stanza having 6 lines, emphasizes the speaker's admiration for the women's inner and outer beauty, which is portrayed through contrasting imagery, light and dark, and nature-based similes and metaphors. The poet has employed poetic devices like alliteration, sibilance, use of sursound in repetition, and antithesis to highlight the balance between her physical grace and pure innocent thoughts, culminating in a deeply admiring and reverent tone. Let's read out the poem first. What are the different lines he is pursuing in his thoughts? She walks in beauty like the night of cloudless climes and starry skies, and all that's best of dark and bright meet in her aspect and her eyes, thus mellowed to that tender light which heaven to gaudy day denies. One stanza is completed here. One shade the more, one ray the less. I repeat, one shade the more, one ray the less. Have you felt parallelism? Had half impaired the nameless grace which waves in every raven trees, or softly lightens over her face, where thoughts serenely sweet express how pure, how dear their dwelling place. Second stanza ends here. And on that cheek and over that brow, so soft, so calm, yet eloquent, the smiles that win, the tints that glow. Again parallelism. The smiles that win, the tints that glow. But tell of days in goodness spent, a mind at peace with all below, a heart whose love is innocent. Interjection mark. Well, we'll find out what is the structure and the form of all the given stanzas as a collective poem. The poem consists of 3 stanzas, we all know, each with 6 lines, as I already discussed, providing a consistent framework for exploring the women's qualities, where the meter and rhyme of the given poem is iambic tetrameter. Iambic is the combination of unstressed and stressed foot. Tetrameter means 4 foot in one line, where each line has 4 metrical feet, 4 feet in one line, creating a natural flowing rhythm. If you felt, I tried my best to read out in the same way. The poem follows an A-B and A-B alternating rhyme scheme in each stanza. The rhyme scheme is same. Why? Because in poetry, this rhyme scheme creates the rhythm which is differentiated from your narration. And what is the language and imagery as given as a contrast? It is a central stylistic feature, that is the use of antithesis. At some places, I'll highlight as a contrasting idea to depict the balance of dark and bright. At the same time, it is dark and bright within her beauty, such as the shade and light, again at the same time, in her face, and the best of both qualities in her soul. So this contrastive nature of the words would create an effect that to which level you must have to think, either this way or the other way. The natural imagery is created in the women's beauty in the form of the comparison to the natural elements, particularly the night sky, where the women's beauty is given a comparison with the night sky. Clearly, through starry nights, she walks in beauty like the night, like the night of cloudless climes and starry skies. This is all about how something is above the world and you cannot find it in the real world. So, alliteration and sibilance is also there in the form of Byron's use of repetition of initial consonant sound, and he brilliantly used it in this one poem, where the sibilance is seen as the repetition of sa sound, that is the consonant sound, to create a smooth musical quality and emphasize the serenity of the women's appearance and character. Let me tell you the meaning of this sa sound as well. In some evil character, then it will be with sibilance, which means an evil sound. But over here it is created eloquent and beautifies the women's beauty. The tone and theme of the given poem is overall one of the deep admiration and awe, described as reverent, idealistic and calm. It balances the inner and outer beauty of the female as well. So think for a while, the female, the woman, he is just having in his imagination. The poem argues that the true beauty is not just to have some physical quality in a woman, but it is a combination of the outward appearance and the inner qualities, such as pure thoughts, sereneness and innocence. And we see it is one of the quality of the romantic age to take the things at innocent level and above the world. So what is the feature of romanticism? You may find out in this one poem. As a romantic poem, it connects beauty to nature. It brings the purity and innocence that reflects the romantic ideal of the heart's power over the mind and a desire for natural harmony. Well, this is one of the masterpieces that is created by Lord Byron. We have multiple examples in the form of daffodils. We have another one of the form in the form of John Keats' different poems. We can also analyze William Blake's poem at this one level. But going into the depth of all that complexity, let's explore a simple lullaby of Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are, up above the world so high like the diamond in the sky. Have you read it? Do you remember it? A very short poem we all have memorized in our childhood for the reason of its rhyming scheme, for the reason of bringing the comparison of a child with some heavenly objects, for sure. Why? Because a child is not something that is of this one world. We always attribute a child with a paradise flower, a flower from the paradise. Again, creating a metaphor of some abstract nature to a concrete world. The repetition, the anaphora, twinkle, twinkle, one word is a noun, the other word twinkle becomes a verb in this one line. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Not only star, twinkle star, little star. So that also brings the attribution to the child of our age, of its own age, that brings the innocence and the quality of his age to be innocent as well. The phonetic level, the phonological level of this poem would create a rhyme scheme as A, B, B. If you find out the different metaphors, you have child, you have star, you have a sky, you have twinkle. Up above the world itself becomes a metaphor. But do you feel that this one lullaby is only these 4 line stanza can only be just a simple poem? Or do you take it just as a simple poem? Are there any stylistic features at semantic level, at pragmatic level? Do we take child as for granted, or we take it something that becomes a part of some parent's whole world. Like said in the given lines, twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Here is an interjection mark. It's not a question, what you are, it's what you are. It does apply that I cannot imagine what the thing you are for me, for the reason you are something, a blessing for me from the heaven, as well as you are the one object that has completed my life. Up above the world so high, your all deeds, your all actions are just above to my head. It does mean above the world. Literally, is it only a star that is above to your head? No. It's a child whose actions you cannot predict. You all know that the actions of a child are always unpredictable. So it's all about up above the world so high, I cannot understand what you are. I cannot imagine what you would be and what your actions would be in upcoming next moments. The joys, the results of some suspicious nature, or the wonders you may create for me. Like the diamond in the sky, above all your giggles, above all your love, above all your natural innocence, you are like a diamond in the sky. Which sky? Is that sky realistically a physical one, or that sky becomes the life of the parents? Do imagine it. The lines just not give you the meaning in the sense of its rhythm, but also specifies that what is hidden inside it. There are many more things which could have been explored in this one lullaby, but physically I could be more interactive with you in the classroom. Let's hope that you would explore not only the phonological but also the contextual feature and the implicit meanings of this one lullaby. That's my favorite one. Actually, I would like you to explore it as well at your own level. Whatever the interpretation you develop, definitely that would be having some meaning for your stylistic nature to explore the text. Now, we have built in much knowledge about it, that how to create an understanding for bringing the meanings out of text. So, this one lullaby would be having many more features at figurative level, at syntactic level, at semantic level, and for sure at discourse level. This is what I have discussed. Above all, rather than a child, just like a twinkling star in the sky, a child becomes the whole world for the parents. That's the implicit meaning of the whole lullaby, that my world is incomplete without your existence. So, at discourse level, you would find out many more meanings of this one lullaby. We have just analyzed 2 poems, or the 2 masterpieces of Romantic age. I would ask you to explore many features which are available on your internet websites as well, and the texts which are available with the stylistic analysis on your websites, to explore and to read out for your understanding, because this one lecture would be not enough, not at all enough, until and unless you want develop your understanding with your self-reading of stylistic analysis features. For phonological features, it's really to work hard for you people, because this could have been a new one for you. This is all about our use of poetic features in the given text at different levels, from phonological to discourse level. We have discussed in these 2 lectures. I think this is more than enough in the description for the 2 lectures, but not enough for your personal study. So, do study it from your different websites, from your books which are available to you, which are referred to you by your teacher. Till the time we discuss the next lecture, have a break, stay happy and blessed. Have a nice day.